don't know if I showed you this yet or not, but hold on. Wait. Oh, I still have the background on. Hold on. Change the video background to nothing. I have a bed now. Wait, oh, it didn't do the thing. Hold on. None. Change background. I have a bed now.
I was gonna say, what? What? Groover is your bed? What?
Don't sleep on Groover.
That's all I want to show you.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not gonna say that anyone watching the stream doesn't get to laugh a little bit. That mine is the only face they ever see. That would never happen. All right. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, they had gathered back on one of the streets of town where there was a large snake getting beat up by this corpse that has since turned to dust. You folks remember everything that was happening?
What about dust?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, you said snake?
That was me.
Solid snake?
Oh yeah, okay, I remember now. Okay, yep, it is coming back now.
It's all coming back to you now. No playing music.
I don't remember. I only remember half of what we were planning to do at the end of the episode, and that's because I wanted to do the second thing. All I remember is that we just got done talking to the wizard, and because we both rolled very well on perception, Livio doesn't believe that the book is destroyed at the moment, and he wants to go find it.
Oh yes,
and he knows it's in the guard tower area. But before that, we wanted to do something else, and I don't remember.
The plan was we go and get Simon's body, interrogate it for some answers, have a sleep, and then do our subterfuge.
Yes, I think that was the plan. Yeah.
All right. You have been directed. You have been directed to where Simon's grave is. So that does not sound like it will be too much of a trouble for you. You wish to do that before you sleep?
Preferably when there's no one else around to watch.
I see. I see. And just trying to bring up my. There it is. Wrong one. Damn it. Bringing up a Google Doc where I've got all my names and everything so that I don't give you wrong names or wrong information. All right. So you're heading to the cemetery?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure.
Can I get perceptions from people?
Sure.
Oh boy.
I know how much Padre likes getting asked to roll perception.
I got a 10.
Starting out strong with an
11.
15.
Now, just going through my head, Waver, had you already been out to the cemetery last session?
Yeah, I
Waver
specifically asked Hakon. I specifically asked Hakon for the location of the body.
Okay.
So
when you're looking around, you notice that this area is completely dead. There's nobody around. Before, there was the occasional mourner who was at a grave or something. Right now, no one is nearby.
Almost like seeing an undead coming out of the cemetery would put people in a sour mood.
You think?
Do we even know that it came out of the cemetery?
Yeah, it was in the
Well,
cemetery.
it came out of the cemetery, but do we know where it appeared from exactly?
No.
No.
I mean, if you're gonna desecrate a grave, now is the time to do it.
Yep.
It is
I would
indeed.
just assume Hoodie's sniffing around all over the place. Don't know for
I'm
what.
keep watch.
Okay. You're gonna keep watch. Others are gonna dig.
I think I would prefer to also keep watch rather than dig.
Hoodie will help Waver dig. Livio doesn't want to.
Actually, could I actually help? If you want to, you can help me dig as like a dire wolf. Maybe that might go by faster.
Up to you. It requires a spell slot, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, but we're actually no. I used both of them. Never mind.
Yes,
I
you
can
did.
do it. Never mind.
Unfortunate.
I mean, it would use a spell slot, I guess, and then
Yeah.
we are about to long rest, I'd imagine. So it wouldn't be.
I mean,
As long as nothing
Hoodie
else
can
bad
do the digging,
happens.
Yeah, as long as nothing else bad happens.
As we all know, nothing else bad can possibly happen.
Subtle foreshadowing.
Yeah, you know what? Hold up, let me just check to see what it actually uses up if I'm not using that.
I don't know if you have that ability yet or not. I know you get it.
I believe I do. You can expend a spell slot or use wild shape to
There
find.
you
No, wait, no, that's not it. Give me a sec, I'll find it. I swear it's on here. I promise. I know it's on here somewhere. I know I got it.
I'm just taking a look in there for you. Wild Resurgence. It's under your features and traits. Once on each of your turns, if you have no uses of Wild Shape left, you can give yourself one use by expending a spell slot. No action required. Or you can
Okay.
or you can expend a use of Wild Shape to give yourself a level 1 spell slot. You can't do so until you finish a long rest again, though. So just be aware.
Okay, so this is the only time that I would be able to
Mhm.
change. Okay. Yeah, then I'll expend a spell slot to change it to a direwolf.
Cool.
Help dig.
All right. You managed to dig Simon out. Now,
Intact, I hope.
well, I mean, you get to the coffin. He is in a coffin. So, direwolf or not, you're not
Fair,
gonna
fair.
dig up parts. Sorry, this is why I don't like having notes in two different places. Okay, cool. I'm right. All right, you do find the coffin. I assume, Waver, you're opening the coffin up?
Yep.
All right. Inside, you find the corpse of a human.
Cool.
He his corpse doesn't look so good. Large slashes from a sword across his front.
Hmm. Well, speak with dead. Let's go, baby.
The corpse eyes open.
What is the last thing you remember?
The betrayer's steel running through me.
Who is the betrayer?
The chief of my guards.
Why did they betray you?
I don't know.
Sorry, just thinking for a bit.
I understand.
Maybe
Can
ask
we-
for
can
the,
we-
for the, the
how-
name of the.
How quiet do you think he's speaking? Can everyone hear this, or just Waver?
Everyone can hear this.
Yeah. I thought
So
it
he
said the
said that
name.
He's
he said the guard.
He said
chief
the
chief of the guards.
chief of the
Yeah.
guards.
Yeah. Hmm. Do you know anything of Noah Deer?
No.
I mean, worth a shot.
How many
I
questions
think I
do you
just
have?
love the
That's
way.
4.
I
One
think I
more.
love the way he said that. No.
Yeah. I have one more. I have one more. Um. Hmm. 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 I have a question. I'm just trying to figure out how to word it.
Okay. He's patient. He's got all the time in the world.
Yeah, yeah. 10 minutes, in fact.
I mean, he has until the spell ends, doesn't he?
Yeah, 10 minutes. So I'm gonna turn to the party, not addressing the corpse, and say, "All right, so how should I phrase the question to get it to answer us about the potentiality of a cursed item?"
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is there anything wrong with? Do you know anything about a cursed item?
Well, the issue with that is, if so, they'll just answer yes, and then the spell will end, and I'm out of third level spell slots, so I
Oh,
won't be
true,
able to
true,
follow up
true.
on that.
Well, you also couldn't
Okay. What
cast it
about
again on him.
Yeah.
what about what about what do you know about any cursed items?
That would work, yes. And then I would ask that verbatim. What do you know of any cursed items?
One second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you asked a
boy.
question. You asked a question I wasn't really expecting. And
Yay! Improv.
Improvise.
Let's
I-
go!
Improv. Yeah.
A character being
Rob.
smart enough to outsmart the DM.
That's something I would love to see if I was a DM. Thinking a character thinking of a question I didn't think of.
Mm,
Oh, I absolutely do like it. It's great, but in this particular case, it means I have to think about what because what you're asking is what this particular character knows about
yes,
cursed items. That's
Yeah.
exactly. That is a bit more tough.
Here it is.
So what is Simon's occupation again? Do we know that?
He was a noble.
A noble. But he's in
Yeah.
league
As were all
with the
the
guards.
victims.
I have heard rumors of a map. A map that takes you to great riches wherever you are, but leads to despair to whoever uses it.
Cool. And then it just the
Mhm.
corpse goes back to its rest, I guess. And with the help of everyone else, we'll just put it back how it was, closing up the coffin and reburying it.
Fair enough.
So that gave us quite a few answers. First of all, it tells us that the guards are behind this,
So,
at
guard
least in
tower?
some part. Well, the thing is, who in the city do the guards answer to?
I just want to specify the way he worded something on that.
Mm,
The chief of my guards.
mm.
Livio's not gonna pay attention to that part. He just wants to sneak into the guard tower.
I'm just making sure you have.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I picked up on that as well.
Well,
Did you even ask who his guards were?
nope.
That's why I
feel like-
kind of wanted to ask what the name of the guy was.
I
I
feel
think
like
it
we
was a
can
bit
figure
more
that out other
important.
ways.
Yeah, I
Well-
think it was a bit more important to learn of, the stuff relating
Yeah.
to the whole mystery that's going on. So,
I
Sure.
mean, we could try and ask Akon. You would know.
mm,
Um,
well, regardless of what direction we go, we should probably rest and recover for now. We have done a lot today.
agreed.
Heading back.
Roger will start walking back to the inverse
So-
yet.
Hoodie's going to rebury the body first
I'll help it because I'm still in dire wolf form.
before we walk
Audrey is
away.
not
I
helpful.
thought that was said that it
No.
was being reburied
Yeah.
to absolutely
Yeah, yeah.
as
No,
it
I didn't hear
was.
that part.
Yep. We're not keeping the grave
Okay.
desecrated.
No.
And as we walk out, I'll turn back into a halfling.
All right.
Imagine not specifying that. It's just
why I
this
did.
dire wolf walking
Look,
around.
some
town.
DMs will do something if you don't specify it.
It's true. Some absolutely will, and they'll say if you didn't say it, you didn't do it. All right. So you're heading back towards your inn.
Yep.
Cool enough.
Did we see anyone while on guard?
You didn't see anyone go anywhere near the graveyard the entire time you were there.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone was invisible. Gotcha.
Aha.
Off to the inn.
You're
To
gonna
the
make the
end
paranoid
of
people even more paranoid. All right.
Look, I crave chaos. I'm all for it.
That's fair. Okay, you managed to get back to the inn. It's just dinner time. I mean, you had a big day, but it wasn't a long day, if you know what I mean. It's not that late.
It was definitely a big day.
Yeah.
It was certainly one of the days of all time.
It was that.
It was a day. It was a day that happened.
Anyway, you said it's dinner time.
Yes.
Uh what is for dinner in the inn tonight?
dinner in the inn tonight is a stew. You're not entirely sure what the meat is in it, but it seems hearty. I'd taste okay.
Okay.
I'm oddly worried.
I mean, I'm worried, but I don't think my character would question it, so I just.
Yeah,
My
I'm
character would
worried out of
probably
character.
also not question it.
I'm worried that Darth is gonna turn us into cannibals without realizing it.
I
Would
mean,
I do that to you?
I don't know. I feel
yes.
like this is one of
Darth,
those things.
every time you say that, the answer is always yes.
I don't know. I just feel like this is one of those things where this is a nothing burger.
I mean, Waver's eaten some very questionable things. I don't think she's gonna bring up too much fuss about it.
Fair enough. Jane, can I get a perception roll from you?
Oh boy, my turn to be pickpocketed.
Look, hold on, you might get put pocketed instead, like I did.
17.
The meat does remind you of something. It definitely has a wolfish taste to it.
Okay.
All right.
I don't like that.
Cool. I keep eating it.
That's
I don't
fair.
like that at all. I keep eating it.
I keep eating it.
Honestly, based.
Amazing.
Okay. You folks all get your food down and are able to head back to your rooms and have your long rest if you want it.
Oh, thank
Alright.
God.
Unless you want
I
to,
would love
sneak
my
off
long rest.
to do something else and not tell the party again.
I will take my long rest.
Like,
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
I'm taking
want
it.
to. I want to. I really do. I
you totally
want to have
should.
Lydia sneak off to
Oh
the
yeah,
guard
Olivia, you
tower.
totally should. Yeah, you should
It was
totally
fun
do
when I
that.
did.
In character, he's terrified of what Waver is gonna do.
I had to laugh.
I was going to say, are you sure you want to suffer the repercussions of doing so?
Being
So
ter-
I'm gonna have
Do
Lydia
it, it'd
take
be
a long
funny.
rest.
Being terrified of Waver seems completely reasonable. All right. You can all go ahead and hit your long rest button and hit confirm. I'm okay with that.
And all of us get
Already
heroic
did.
inspiration.
It's true.
Hooray!
Yay.
Yep.
Very,
I
very
have
true.
spells again. Yay!
All right.
Mm-mm-mm.
What are
For
you folks
now.
planning on doing? I assume you're having breakfast first.
Yes,
Probably.
probably.
Most likely.
Breakfast is a rather simple affair downstairs. It's a thick porridge. Again, some pieces of meat in it.
Is there usually meat in porridge?
Sometimes.
I don't think so.
It depends. I think it depends on the type of porridges.
It's more of a
I
gruel.
guess. Ah, okay.
You're thinking of just straight up oatmeal, which is fine.
Yeah,
That
porridge
is probably
can
what I'm
include
thinking of,
meat.
yeah.
Is it more akin to like sausage gravy or?
Think of it as I mean, a little bit looser than oatmeal would be, but then bits of meat, almost like a bacon, thrown in.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
A bacon or a sausage. Yeah. Gotta throw in protein to help you out somehow, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What are we doing?
Livia's gonna turn to the group. So, are we gonna go to the guard tower, or are we going to go to the houses of the victims? Because I know where two of them are.
I think. Hmm. With the information we have, it would probably be best to try and find clues on who the chief guard was and then track them down. I think the best place to find those clues would be in Simon Turcotte's home.
Do I know which of the victims' houses I found?
You actually found Simon's home. That was one of the two
Okay.
you found. You found Simon's and Lothar's.
Yeah, I don't remember which ones I
Do
found. I just
we
knew that I found two.
do we know if anyone else lived there besides Simon? Like, if you had a family or anything?
I
Or...
don't believe anyone offered that information to you, and I know you didn't ask it.
If you didn't say
Because
it.
I'm just thinking of that now. Like, what if we just like go? What if we're like just like going into his house,
I
thinking
mean,
it's gonna
that's
be
what
empty because
knocking
he's
on
dead, and then all of a sudden
that's
his like
what,
wife is there or something.
that's what knocking on the front door is going to do. And I know that's weird coming from me because I had Livio peek through a window before knocking on the door one of these times. So all right, where are we going?
All right, I guess let's go to Simon Turcotte's house,
Mm-hmm.
and when we get there, I guess I'll just go ahead and knock on the door.
I'll get perceptions from everybody as you get there.
Sure
Okie
thing.
dokie.
Perception.
8.
No, why do I rolling so bad?
20.
I got a 9.
8.
20. Am I the only one who rolled double digits that time?
No. Oh, yeah, you're the only one who rolled double digits. That's brutal. Ugh. Ah.
I almost rolled double
Okay,
digits.
so I
roll
will
one more.
say, Livio, you
Yeah.
see that although all the curtains are drawn, or they're all closed, you do see movement at the curtains, as if there was somebody there.
Okay. Yeah, there are people inside. Time to knock on the door.
I'm still knocking on the door.
You knock on the door. Door is opened by a man in leather armor with a black band wrapped around his arm. Yes.
Wait, so
Would I know what the black
Uh,
band meant?
sorry, out of character, real quick. Refresh my memory. The people that Haycon sent had red bands on their shoulders, right? On their arms.
I believe they did.
They had, yeah.
I believe that's
Okay.
correct. I believe that was Jane asking if you knew what the band means. Give,
Yeah.
give, give me just a straight up intelligence roll.
10.
There's a chance that it's showing a household mourning.
Okay.
But you're not sure of that.
All right.
All right.
All right. So when he answers the door, I'm just gonna say, "Hi. First of all, I We are truly sorry for the fate that befell Simon Turcott. We are investigating his murder as well as many of the other murders that have happened as of late, and we were wondering if we could maybe come in for a second, ask some questions.
My lady is not to be disturbed. He goes to close the door.
Understood. Sorry to disturb you. And then, as he closes the door, Potter will just turn to the rest of the party and be like, "Well, we'll probably have to come back later."
Okay.
All right.
That wasn't exactly how I was expecting that to go down, but that's cool.
Expecting
I
us
mean,
to
the
throw
last time
hands.
Padre tried to do something like that, he got threatened to throw in jail.
Well,
So
no, honestly, I'll completely honestly here. You didn't say for sure you wanted to talk to the lady. I thought the objection somebody would have had is that no, they want to talk to the guards anyway. It's okay. It's all good.
I
Where are we
mean,
head?
yeah.
Where are we heading next?
Want to try
I
steal
don't
a
know.
book?
I'm out of plans now.
How about the the guard tower, wizard tower thing, whatever it was called,
Try
for
sticking in
the
there
the
again.
book
It went
place.
so well last time.
Mm, yeah, it
Oh,
did. But what was the
Didn't
major factor that was missing last time?
wait.
Remind me again,
You did,
Jane.
wait. Did Jane try and sneak into the guard tower? I thought it was just into the.
It's attached.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter which
It's
is
like part of it, yeah.
if we're gonna do this, we gotta do this right.
Well, I'm here to confer what I can to help. I just need the direction to do so.
All right.
We could try look around, see if there's any like good openings to like just anywhere inside the manor, but ideally inside the guard tower itself.
Kind of just like, I guess we could walk by the guard tower, just from a distance,
Yeah.
as to like just so we can like kind of scout and plan what we're gonna do and how we're gonna get in, but not not doing so as to make it obvious that we're there to see the guard tower.
All right. Are you leading the merry band of misfits on that?
I suppose I will.
I'm gonna ask for a deception roll then.
Oh God, maybe I wasn't. Hmm. Okay.
I mean, I could ask for deception or I could ask for performance. They're the same roll.
My performance is also -1. Okay, so I oh my God, I got a 7.
Okay. You are
Oh
working
no.
really.
Try.
I mean, you can see that Padre is making it very clear that while he's making a show of not taking any interest at all in the guard tower, he's looking awful close to that guard tower.
Oh my god.
Whether or not you can make a show that or make it actually look like you're not paying attention to the guard tower, Padre is.
Mm.
Video is based on pure assumptions.
This is unfortunate.
Do any do any guards notice this?
I would like a perception roll.
13.
Yeah, the same guard who commented they saw a rat and told somebody to get a cat. He saw this.
Jane's getting PTSD. I gotcha.
Just like hyper fixated on that one guard.
He's got good perception.
Just sweating.
I'm assuming if I'm trying to make it seem like I'm not there to see the guard tower, I would also probably try to see if anyone else notices while I'm doing this.
Sure, you can go ahead and make a roll.
Perception. Oh God, 6.
Nah, no one sees you at all. You're in full John Cena mode. You can't see me.
Let's fucking go.
I love how my camera just did that. As my hand went by, you can't see me.
All right, I'm being very subtle. No one will suspect a thing.
All right.
I feel like Jane at this point would try to like push us to move further along just to get out of that one guard's sight.
Mm-hmm. Jane pushes you over. That's fine. You move a little further. Yep.
At least so like at the point where like we're not being watched by that guard anymore.
Does Livio notice that they're catching on? Or do I need to roll for that?
Go ahead and make a roll, Livio.
Perception?
Yep.
That's gonna be a
15. Hey! Yeah. The guards were kind of noticing. Subtlety is not.
Let's see how this goes.
Subtlety is not.
Livio is going to break away from the group. Just walk up to the guards.
Mr. Livio, isn't it?
Yes, that's
when
correct.
Padre sees that Livio is going straight up to the guard, Padre's just gonna mutter under his breath, "You're breaking our cover."
They already know, Padre. I just had a question for you. If you can answer it, you don't have to be pressured to answer it. Simon Turcotte, do you know if he hired any guards?
All of the nobles in town have been hiring mercenaries like crazy ever since the murders started.
Do you know who was in charge of protecting Simon?
I believe the chief of Simon's guards was Piotr?
Piotr? Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't a mercenary, though. He had been with Simon for years.
How do you spell that name, by the way?
Piotr.
Do you, by any chance, know where we can find Piotr?
He should be on the ground, still working for Simon's widow, Emerus.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
I'm happy to help. If there's anything else you need, Mr. Livio, you let me know.
I will do that. And he's going to go back to the group.
While Livio was talking to the guards, I would like to see if I can inspect like the perimeter of the manor to find like an opening.
Sure. I'll get get an investigation from you, and Livio, can I get a wisdom from you?
I'm sorry, a wisdom what?
Oh, a wisdom roll.
I got 11.
Just straight
is
wisdom.
That just a straight wisdom roll?
Yep.
That's going to be a 3.
Yeah. No worries at all. Jane, there are a lot of spots in the wall where connections with doors aren't perfect, windows that don't seal quite properly. The guard tower does not look all that well maintained.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know how far away Livio was from the group. I don't know if they heard everything, but he's going to tell everyone what he knows regardless now.
If that's the case, then the person who greeted us at the door is probably this Piotr.
I would like to point out all of the openings that I saw to the rest of the group, or potential weaknesses rather.
I'm very worried why you asked for a wisdom roll. That's definitely
It was just
will
to mess
come
with
back
you,
to bite me.
Broshi.
I mean, I
But
was debating over whether I wanted to ask for wisdom or intelligence. It was going to be one of the two. And I felt this was more of a common sense roll.
well, either way, it's the same roll, so it wouldn't have made a difference.
It's fair.
So, a common sense roll, though.
What? Livio
Livio
doesn't
doesn't
have
have that. That's what I said. Livio doesn't have common sense. So it's probably in character that I rolled
that.
low.
I love how we both said that at the exact same
Yeah.
time.
Well done. What would you like to do next? It's still early in the day. Jane, can I get a perception roll, please?
Yep. 17.
So many perception rolls.
Jane, you specifically notice that although you've seen evidence of vermin and animals before, there are no animals on the streets.
No.
Gotcha.
Oh. I have a theory of what they're feeding us at the inn.
Sorry,
I
I'm
don't-
dumb. Can you explain?
If
I
Hoodie
don't
goes
like
missing,
it.
I'm throwing hands, Darth. I'm throwing hands if Hoodie goes missing.
Do you want to explain it, Matt, or you? Is that a bit?
Yes, I'm genuinely not understanding.
The implication is that we were eating like wild street animals earlier.
Wild street animals.
Like, yeah.
Stray cats, dogs.
Like the stray
Oh
cats, stray
God.
dogs.
Oh God. Oh God. No.
Yeah, remember when I said that Wave was eating some dubious stuff? Yeah, she even if she knew, she probably wouldn't care too much.
If Padre had realized, Padre would probably be
I'm gonna
freaked
keep
out.
this information to myself because I feel like the other members shouldn't have to know that.
Well, we do have some information, but I want
Yeah,
some concrete proof that the chief of guards is behind at least one of these murders so that we can present it to Hakon.
I mean,
I was
we
about
can
to
do an
ask.
interrogation.
I mean, yeah, I guess we do have a lead now on the chief, so we can probably break into here later.
We have a lead on a crime Let's break in. Let's go commit a crime later. Got you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's totally
I can only
doable.
deal with one crime at a time.
That's right.
Can't overwhelm yourself.
All right. So what are we looking at?
Waver
Special set
Waver
standards.
would attempt to direct everyone back to the Turcotte house
Sure.
and mainly try and look for a way for someone to slip in, like basically an entryway that someone could go through that isn't like gonna generate any sound.
Give me an investigation roll.
Sure. 8.
You really don't find anything.
Hmm. Well, I have the tools to assist someone getting in. It's just I'm not entirely sure where to break in from.
Why are we
Are we
breaking
still
in
talking about the
again?
Wizard's Tower or
No, we're at
Out
the other house now.
here.
oh the
Why-
Seven Turcotte?
Why are we?
Because, according to Simon Turcotte's own corpse, the person who killed him is in here. And if we can find absolute evidence of that, we're one step closer to solving these murders.
Are there any windows around the building that you could climb into?
There are several windows. They are all closed with the curtains all closed as well on them.
Okay. Hmm.
I have an
I mean,
idea.
could we like knock on the door and then have somebody sneak in while the door is open?
That's what I was thinking,
That's
actually.
I'm not knocking on
okay.
the door again because that would be awkward.
Wouldn't we have to figure out a way to get him to actually come out and not be in the doorway then?
I mean, I can
Like,
turn
it'd be
into a
pretty-
rat again.
It's gonna
I'd
be
be
pretty
small
hard
enough.
to sneak in.
I mean, I'd be
That would work.
yeah, and then Waver can turn me invisible, I think.
Yeah.
Darth, can I be honest real quick?
Sure.
That wisdom roll is really making me paranoid.
It's fair. You were the only one who approached, so I can't ask the others to give it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Like the only reason why I made Livio approach is because he realized that Podgy was being super fucking obvious.
I know.
Oh, you know what? I think I understand why Darth made you have the wisdom roll. Perhaps possibly.
Okay, so we just need someone to knock on the door. That's it.
Well, first, we
It is
should.
a plan.
Yeah. Before we begin with the plan, I can provide supplements to everyone to assist them with their tasks.
Drugs.
Performance enhancing music.
Yeah.
Using music.
Yay!
It'd be funny just like before we're breaking in, you just see us like dancing along to like whatever Waver's playing.
So yeah, I think we should first fully develop our plan of attack, and then I can divvy up stuff as needed.
Because I don't really have a direction after I get in.
How big would you say the house is, Darth?
It's a full-on manor. It's quite large.
Is it bigger than 30 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
And as for seeing the bard before you sneak in, I mean, look back at what Livio had to say not that Not that far back. Go in the chat, and that covers it.
What I had to say?
When is waiver gonna be like this? Yeah.
Oh, right. Prancing around with an instrument.
Yeah.
I was asking because I could cast Pass Without Trace for a short time if needed.
Okay.
Because it doesn't leave footprint sounds is the main reason.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, stacking that on top of invisibility is pretty
Yeah, that's
good.
part of the plan. But it won't be for long if it's bigger than 30 feet.
Yeah. How long does the invisibility last? Like, what's the limitation on that?
Invisibility will last for 1 hour or until you attack.
Or until waiver
Okay,
stops
so
paying
that,
attention.
Yeah.
that should be
Yeah,
fine. At least for
Pass
that.
Without Trace is the same. It lasts for an hour.
So
Gotcha.
yeah. If I do invisibility on Livio and they do pass without trace and we can find a way for them to slip in, I think that would be the best way of
Yeah.
doing it.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could, like, if either that or I could choose to have Jane not leave any footprints.
Oh, you can cast it on someone else. In that case, then
Yeah,
we could.
it specifically says while in the aura, you and each creature you choose.
I see.
Okay.
And then they have a +10 bonus to stealth checks and leave no trace.
+10. That's a lot.
And
Yep.
yep, and
It's really good.
invisibility just makes you impossible to see, so it's even harder for someone to perceive you.
Yeah.
But like I said, it will only be for 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of that.
Okay. So what exactly am I looking for when I get in there?
Any form of evidence that the chief, any form of evidence that the head chief Pyotr was responsible for Simon Turcotte's death.
And
Gotcha.
long story short, fuck if we know.
Okay. Great. Hmm. All right. Is that what we're going with? Is that the plan?
Hmm. There
uh,
there is one
Darth
other
is already.
there is one other possibility of something else that I could do to potentially make the process easier. The problem is it's a very risky move.
Okay.
It is very risky.
My other idea is I could just knock on the door and claim to have been sent by Haikon.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh my god. By
Wait,
cloak of
are
many
we discussing
fashions.
how we're gonna get in, or
Oh yeah, you
without?
do have the cloak.
I
Hmm,
can use the magical cloak to put a symbol on it that looks like the symbol that the guards painted on the magic shop when they were closing it up, and then attempt to convince him that we are here for a formal investigation from Hakon.
What is Waver's deception?
+10.
Waiver's
Okay,
actually good
yeah,
at
we can do
deception.
that.
Yep. Okay.
We
Let's.
can do that. I feel like
I
that's
feel like that's a
safer
bit
than what we
safer.
were
Yeah.
planning. And we save spell slots.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I would have to
I'm
use a second level
yeah.
spell.
I'm going to just check something if I can make this work potentially even better. Unfortunately not. I can't use bardic inspiration on myself, unfortunately.
dang.
All right.
All right, so Waver is going to use the magic on her cloak to have it have a symbol identical to the one that the guards put on the magic shop to signify Hakon's symbol.
All right.
And then she is going to knock on the door.
Can I get wisdom rolls from the entire group?
Sure.
Just straight wisdom.
It's a common
7.
sense roll.
I keep almost
12.
rolling
13.
very well, and then like it just bounces the wrong way. I got 14 though.
All right. So
12.
for those of you who beat a 10,
Not Waver then. Got it.
not Waver, you were here this morning with Padre, who just knocked on the door and turned away without a problem.
So this is another common sense thing, and I feel like Waver would have that common sense. Can we swap Livio and Waver's roles, please? Because I feel like it would be the opposite.
How about we don't do this because we were just here like earlier and we left.
Well, we
Do
could
you
just
want-
use the.
wait, we could.
If that's the case, then we could use the cover story that we've. That first of all, she just gestures over her cloak. They don't know what I look like. Second of all, we could just say that you've gotten permission from Hakon and that I was specifically sent here to be the arbiter of that.
How many people can we turn invisible at once?
One.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
One. Okay.
Just
It
one?
requires it requires concentration.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think we could do that while also holding a conversation then.
No, you can.
You just can't do a
Okay.
second one or take damage without having to do rolls.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because like, I mean, I feel like I'd be covered. I could like turn into a rat and get somebody in somebody's pocket, but like everybody, like, and then we could have one other person invisible. But I don't know what we would do for the last.
Okay. I feel an idea forming in my head.
We need to talk you out of it then. No, I'm just kidding.
So I have a gnomish lineage spell, Prestidigitation. It has a range of 10 feet. Do walls block that?
What are you looking to do?
I don't know. Probably some sort of sensory effect inside the house to maybe cause them to open the door so that Jane as a rat or something can just slip in. Perhaps make it smell terrible or something, like someone absolutely ripped ass.
You could definitely do that.
I feel like that just goes back to our first plan then, and in that case,
But like we wouldn't be at the door though. We would be like on the side. Like I don't know.
I mean that's
That's what I
kind
was
of
So yeah, we basically have two plans here. We can either stealth rat, or we can try and deception our way in.
I was merely making
I'm liking stealth rat more.
Darth, you said there were no animals around, correct?
That's correct.
There are no birds around either.
No birds anywhere near the ground.
But there's also no other rats,
That's true.
which means
Yeah, that is the one. That is the one problem. That is the one problem. If Jane gets caught, then there'll be something in our stew next time around. I can
But
say that
then,
much.
bro, she'll yell at me for making you into cannibals.
Look. I'm not gonna yell at you. I'm just gonna be very disappointed. Anyway,
Not angry, just disappointed. That's cool. I just found the
yeah.
title for this session.
Which I feel like is objectively worse. But are there any birds nearby at all?
Perception roll, please.
Why is Livio interested in birds all of a sudden?
Perception. That's a nat one. Okay.
No.
I have animal friendship and beast bond.
It's reasonable. I get what you're doing, but
Yeah. I could use the senses of the bird to look in through the window from a tree.
the only problem with that is, and you can see all of the windows have curtains.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that any plans will or will not work. I was just trying to make sure with the wisdom roll that you knew what certain implications were.
Hmm. Well, I think we should vote on it and go with the majority. So, two options. We either have Jane turn into a rat and then put all of the buffs onto them and have them sneak through, or I try and convince my way in to investigate.
Why don't we do both? While you are trying to convince the guard, Jane can sneak in.
I mean, still, the first plan would have somebody knock at the door, I think.
That's what I'm saying. That way, if something happens, I don't know. If you can somehow get in, Jane could sneak back out and get out of rat form.
That is true. Sneaking back out might be a problem. I mean, I guess I could. I mean, I do have the message cantrip, so I could just let you know when I need to get out.
Hmm.
And I don't know, you can knock on the door again. I don't know.
Well, hmm.
Personally, I feel like the thing Waver wants to do is safer. But
I think like if we have just waiver going into it, then like it might be a bit harder to like freely move around the house to look for clues. Well, actually, no. Your plan is no. Never mind, because you would be investigating anyway. Never mind.
I was going to ask what exact clues are we looking for?
Just
I don't
conclusive
think we know
evidence.
exactly what yet. We're just looking for something. Maybe a diary that the guard kept with a journal entry saying that he's gonna do it. He's gonna kill the master.
well, I feel like that's asking for a lot. It's too good to be true.
Hmm.
That's best case scenario.
I mean, even if there's like nothing there to conclusively prove this thing, there's probably something in there that can help our investigation.
All right. So what do we think we're going to do?
I'm fine to do it either way.
I vote stealth threat.
Livio is going to go with whatever Waver thinks is best.
Mm.
Waver, leading through fear.
I know my luck. I know how bad my dice rolls are, and god damn it, I know if I do this, I'm gonna roll 2 net runs in a row. So you know what? We're going stealth rat, baby, because at least Jane sometimes has better rolls. So, first things first, you have a Bardic Inspiration dice. If you fail a roll, you get a D8 to add on it, and that's for the you get 1 for the next hour. Second thing, you are invisible, so you can do the sneaky sneak.
So are we doing the Jane thing?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, if that's the case, pass without trace then.
Okay.
So you have a +10 to dexterity stealth checks.
Okay, cool. And I am now a rat.
You are a rat. You are an invisible, sneaky rat with no tracks.
That is inspired bardically.
Inspired bardically and
30 feet into
heroically.
the house. But I don't know how this. Do you have a layout of the house, Darth? Because 30 feet into the house. I do have to ask about pass without trace. Does it is it like a sphere? Wait, no, it says it on the thing. It is a sphere. Yeah, it's a sphere. So you could go in the range and then out of the range and then back in if you really wanted to. If you go up a floor.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to be close to the house though.
You might be able to just stay on the side. I don't know, like.
Yeah.
All right. So, how are we getting Jane inside the house?
I think we're gonna have somebody knock on the door and then just me sneak in, the door opens.
I feel like the safest person to knock would be
Okay, so
Wave
question.
because of the hood.
Okay, question. How many people are out on the street, like in front of Simon's house? Like, is there a lot of people or not very many people?
What time is it in the day? Is the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
question.
Sorry.
Are the
about that.
streets busy or
Trying to get on a different
not
page
so
here.
much?
Give me a second here. Hit the wrong buttons. Oh,
What?
let's.
Olivia, why'd you roll a die and it was good? You're supposed to save those for when we need them.
Yeah, it wasn't Livio.
When
It was
did
it was
I
me
didn't
hitting the
roll
wrong
anything.
button.
I was like, I didn't roll anything.
It was me hitting the wrong
That makes
button.
sense. Makes sense why it was a high number then.
Doesn't it though?
Yeah.
I don't understand
I rolled a 20 before.
I don't understand how the computer knows it's me. I just don't get it. You see probably a dozen people on the street.
Dozen people. How
No.
how close can we be to the house, like to the front door, while reasonably like just being in the crowd of people?
Oh, the crowd of people are on the street. None of them are on the property.
Okay, so the street is not very close to the house.
It's got some
It
distance
might be a good idea, like for Waver to knock on the door and maybe try and get in anyways, even though that we do have stealth threat, just as like a backup, I suppose, and like that I'm not left in there completely alone.
I'm sorry. Didn't I suggest this before?
I believe so.
Ooh.
That's my bad. I wasn't paying attention. I thought you were.
What if? Okay. Here's an idea.
It's all good. It's all good, Jane.
As a gnome, I can I can cast prestidigitation for 10 minutes in order to create a tiny clockwork device. That basically, when I make the device, I choose which like effect of prestidigitation it does. So basically, I make a clockwork device that when it's activated, it just makes like a knocking on the door noise, like a sensory effect. And so we have Jane as a rat bring that device up to the door, activate it, and then the door opens and Jane slips in.
I feel like we can just have Waver knock on the door though.
But like,
Hmm.
why? But I feel like that's like
I believe what Jane is asking or was saying is having Waver go in means that there are two people in instead of one, and it's backup,
Yeah.
and it's
right.
a
I
plan
suppose.
B.
Yeah, and Waver is the safest one to do it anyway because Waver has their hood on all the time, so it would be hard for
Oh, so in other words, you're
Era
saying
to know where
they wouldn't recognize
was
Waver
at
from
the time.
before. I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense, actually.
Well, it's not that he won't recognize her from before. It's safer because they probably didn't. Because their hood will be off and you're basically a different person.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that this was the same person as before.
Hmm.
Okay, maybe we could combine plans like that. Yeah, I think I like that actually.
Is there like shrubbery in front of the house?
There is indeed a shrubbery.
Because I feel like it would be a bit suspicious if Olivia was just chilling there on the sidewalk while Waver does this.
Specifically, there is a fairly
So it
large.
might be better to hide.
Specifically, there's a fairly large rose bush out front of the house.
Ooh.
Oh, rose bush.
What's wrong with the rose bush?
First things first.
Oh wait, rose bushes
The
are
thorns,
thorny, aren't they?
the problem.
Oh, right.
Well,
Yeah,
hold
I
on.
forgot about that part.
What's the problem with thorns? Oh.
So first things first. Sorry, Hoodie, you gotta go away for a bit.
No.
We're gonna despawn Hoodie.
Sure.
Despawn.
Then Livia's going to, I guess, hide in the rose bush, or try to hide behind it.
Is there room in or behind the rose bush for Padre to also hide?
Yes.
But if that's the case, I can also have pass without trace for Padre for a little bit
Certainly could.
for a +10 to stealth.
Certainly could.
All right, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Tell you what. For the two of you, then, I'm gonna go ahead and ask for. Oh, how about dex saves?
Dex save.
Dex
Oh, for the
saves?
thorns. Okay, sure.
Yeah, for
Here,
the thorns. That's a nat
Ooh.
1.
8.
That's a nat 1.
You need to have us do something else instead of rolling dice for these skill checks.
Okay. So you both get in.
that
Livio,
wasn't a check that was saved,
well,
right?
that it wasn't. It wasn't
I mean,
a stealth.
It was a nat 1 anyway.
Yeah. However, I am going to ask you now for a concentration roll.
Oh, right, because there's the
Concentration?
concentration thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
What is
Roll
that?
good, roll good, roll good.
What roll is that?
So that is, I believe it's a Constitution save.
Yeah.
Is that just?
I don't need one from
That's a
Padre.
nat 20.
I don't need one from Padre. Oh yeah, it's
Okay,
perfect. You're fine.
I went from a nat 1 to a nat 20.
Yeah, but then you got to see the little
Nice.
dragon. You got to see the dragon. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, but why did I have to roll a nat 20 there?
Well, this way, Pass Without Trace is still active.
Yeah, but why a nat 20? Any other number would have been fine. Now I'm not gonna get a nat 20 at all for the rest of this session.
You and Padre each take 2 damage.
Ah, shit.
Ouch.
2 damage.
I mean, we knew that was a situation that could happen. Okay, so you're hiding in the bushes.
Yeah.
Jane is busily being an invisible rat that's passing without trace, and Waver knocks on the door. The guard opens. It is a different guard from earlier.
I do want to say I would have been so upset if we did all that and the guard wasn't even there anymore.
It is a
Or there was
different.
just no one there.
Yeah, it is a different guard from earlier. He does have another black wrapping on his arm.
As the door opens, I'll sneak in.
Okay.
I have been sent by Hakon to investigate this house, as we believe it may hold great information towards the current case.
Give me a deception roll.
Sure thing. Here we go, baby. Let's
Here we
go.
go.
Let's go.
Moment of
All
truth.
right, nat 1. Oh,
That's a pretty good
Wow.
roll. I'm not gonna lie.
28.
That's a very good roll. If
That
he
is
beats
awesome,
that,
bro.
I'm gonna call bullshit.
And where would Hakon wish for you to see?
We are
House.
currently unsure of the exact specifics of what information could be found here. We just are very certain that there is information in here. My job is to survey the house and find potential locations for more thorough investigations to take place.
Well, the murder happened in his study.
Then I shall begin my investigation there.
As you wish.
All right,
He
and
leads you towards the study. What are you doing, Jane? You see a room that is 20 by 20 and has stairs going up and 4 doors coming off it. Two on the north wall, one on the east and one on the west.
Okay.
As well as the one you came through that's on the south, obviously.
Yeah. I guess I'll just try the west door.
Okay.
Just kind of try and look around. I'm trying to look for essentially just any like place where maybe a guard would stay.
All right. Can I get a? The problem is if I ask you, damn it. Can I get a dex roll with your new shape? Or a strength roll, I don't care which.
I believe. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it would just use my regular dex because it's better than my.
Nope. It uses the doesn't use the better of the two. It uses the one of the new. So your dex is currently. Yep, you're currently in 11 dex.
You're right.
Are they? Is Waver inside? Did they shut the door?
Waver is inside, and they have shut the door.
Okay. Padre and I should probably come out of hiding so we're not suspicious to everyone else.
I will ask for another dex save.
Yeah, probably just.
I'm just gonna roll a regular d20.
That's a 10.
I got a 16.
Just chill on the sidewalk.
All right. So Padre got a 16 in a second here. I'll check.
I got a 10.
Okay, that's fine. You're both fine. And you rolled, Jane, just a d20?
Or I'm gonna roll a d20.
Yep, that's fine
my
because it's an
modifier is
11,
zero
so it's a
anyway,
straight
Dex.
d20. Yep.
Is pass without trace still in effect?
Yep.
All right, so that's 11.
I'm sorry. Did you roll a nat 1?
It's a 1. It's not.
I rolled a nat 1, but
that's
but
only
pass
for
without
stealth
trace-
rolls.
Oh, for stealth. Oh, I thought it was for Dex and stealth. Okay.
Dexterity.
It says dexterity, and then in parentheses it says stealth.
Yeah, because stealth is a type of
Gotcha.
dexterity roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that means.
You.
Sorry. I
Yeah.
misunderstood.
You're trying to squeeze through the door, and it's not working. The door is closed.
Shit. So I don't even make it.
All right. Waiver. You get escorted into a very well appointed study. Obviously, the person who used to reside here was fairly wealthy. Nothing has been taken. Yes, Jane.
Before Waiver moves too far into the house, like while I still know where she is, I want to send a message to her saying that I couldn't get in. I'm gonna try to look for another way out, but for right now, you're on your own.
Okay.
All right.
The guard stands beside the door and is just quiet.
Cool. I'm just gonna start looking through the room because who knows what I might be able to find, you know? Might as well do something while I'm here. So yeah, I'll just start looking through the room, notably not touching anything, just looking around and taking a note of what is there.
All right, so I'll get an investigation roll from you.
So, 13.
All right, so first and foremost, you see that the blood has not been cleaned up. You can see blood splatter on the walls from multiple strikes. And you also see that blood splatter onto the desk as well. Other than that, you see the books have been left open. There was, it looks like business ledgers that appear unfinished.
I see. Well, to scoping out the room just to make sure that I've got everything I can from there. So, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, what was it you said at the first there? I missed it.
I said I'll devote like a good 5 or so minutes
Yep.
to doing this.
You scope everything out, investigate, and without touching anything, that's pretty much the extent of what you see. The guard actually looks pretty bored. Folks, time is passing. Jane, can I get another, or how do you want to try and get out?
Get out?
You said you wanted to get out, right?
Oh, I'm not even in there right now, am I?
No, but you said you weren't able to get into that room, and you were looking at trying to.
I'll get into that room. Yeah.
Are you still trying to get into that room?
So
I'm trying.
Sorry, I misunderstood this completely. I thought I didn't get into the manor.
Oh, you're in the manor. You just weren't able to get into the next room because there's a
Yeah,
door closed in the way.
you slipped in when Waver knocked on the door and he opened it.
Yep, and no problems with that.
Okay. Uh. Yeah, I guess let's just kind of like. Yeah, I guess let's just try again.
Sure, I'll get another dex save or dex check, not save.
Dex check. That's
Now-
a bit better. 18.
All right, you're able to wriggle into the crack between the floor and the door, getting into the room. You have managed to find yourself in the kitchen area.
All right. Do I see anybody in there?
There is indeed somebody in there. There's somebody
Okay.
wandering around near the stoves. It appears they might be cooking.
Let's see. Is that the only way into this kitchen, or is there another door leading out?
There is another door leading out on the other end.
Okay, I'm just gonna try and go through there then.
I'm gonna ask for another dex roll.
Alrighty. 17.
Yep, you managed to sneak under this door as well, and you are now in a dining room.
Makes sense.
The dining room actually seems to only have place settings for one at the moment.
Honestly, I feel like we should be looking for the wife. But that's just my opinion.
Right. Waver, you've been looking around for a little while. What's up? Is Waver gone?
Hello?
Hello.
Uh,
Had you disconnected?
microphone was being wonky. Sorry
Fair
about
enough.
that. Hopefully it's fixed. So yeah, Waver is going to addressing the guard. First ask, I assume that everything other than the body has been left as it was since discovery?
That is correct.
She would not. That is good to hear. Obstructions like that would make discovery harder. Do you have any testimony to give?
No one knows what happened.
Hmm.
Go ahead and make me an insight roll.
Sure.
I love how
8.
when this is going Padre
You know
and I are
what?
just a text art.
No. I'm not going to accept that 8. I'm using my heroic inspiration on this.
Okay.
11. Only slightly better. Yay.
You get
I love my luck.
you get the sense that he is being honest but is holding something back.
I would just say any and all information relating to this case could be vital to solving it.
We don't know what happened. All we know is Simon was in his study, and then we heard a scream, and when we came in, he was dead and blood was everywhere.
Hmm. Was there anyone else in the room with him?
No, Simon usually does his books alone.
He would nod her understanding. I feel like I have gained all the information I can from this room.
Sure.
Are there any other rooms of note that could provide information in this case?
I don't see how, but it's above my pay grade. Wherever you wish to go, I will allow.
He would nod and then exit the study looking for the next room to investigate.
Sure. Where would you like to go? He asks.
The wife. The wife.
Perhaps the bedchambers could provide some sort of information on this.
Give me a persuasion on that one.
Sure. Uh, 22.
The mistress is not supposed to be disturbed, but I don't. You hear him grumbling and cursing Hakon's name under his breath.
Mm.
He leads you up the stairs.
Yeah. I would follow.
He takes you to one of the 3 doors on the upper floor, knocks at the door, and you hear a woman's voice from the other side. Go away! Are you answering or are you waiting for him?
Hmm. I think I would just look at him and point at the Hakon symbol on my cloak to remind him.
Hakon has sent investigators, ma'am. The door opens and a woman, middle-aged, looks like she's been crying for about a week straight, opens the door. You can't leave me with my grief? She looks directly at
No,
you.
unfortunately, this case is of a dire situation. We need all the information we can get. All I can promise you in return is that if I am granted the ability to investigate as I please, we may be able to find the culprit sooner, and you may be able to rest easier.
What do you need?
I need as much information about this situation as possible. Any testimony you have to give on the situation as well would be most appreciated.
Simon was doing his books. It was evening. I was already making ready for bed. I heard a shout. I heard guards running downstairs. And he was dead. What more can you learn from me?
She would pause, thinking for a moment before. Hmm. I'm just considering for a moment here. She would lean in and whisper to her, "We believe the chief of the guards is behind this."
Piotr has been with us forever and is absolutely loyal.
I would like to hear from him as well then. Perhaps he would be able to enlighten me on his side.
She looks at the guard. Raza, go get us Piotr. He looks uncomfortable. Now, Raza. He goes. He
Mm.
obviously did not want to leave you alone with her.
Mm.
Okay.
I would say while I wait, I would just sort of ask for surrounding details. Nothing too specific, but more just oh, in the days leading up to this event, did you notice anything abnormal? Stuff like that, you know?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Raza comes back up the stairs with another guard with him. The other guard is the one you saw in the morning.
Mm. I would turn to him. He would see the symbol of Hakon, and I'm assuming he would be able to gather what's going on just from that.
How can I help you?
I am here to investigate the circumstances surrounding Simon's demise. If you would not be too disturbed, I would be grateful if you were to be able to provide your testimony of the events around that time.
That night, Simon went in to do his books. And the next thing we knew, we were going in and there was blood everywhere, and Simon was dead on the ground. No one knows what happened.
Hmm. If I may be, if I may ask, what exactly were you doing at the time?
I was standing post out by the door, the front door to the building.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I said, no one knows anything that happened. No one can figure it out. It was the weirdest thing.
Hmm. I've got to think about this for a bit, so you could probably perspective switch to Jane while I ponder.
It's fair. All right, Jane, you're in the dining room. What are you up to?
Would I be able to hear, from where I'm at, Waver trying to talk to,
Nope.
um,
You heard footsteps come down the stairs, more footsteps going up the stairs, but no, you can't really hear what Waver's saying. Completely different floor.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'd be able to interpret that. Then I guess I'll just. How many doors lead out to the out of the diner?
Out of this one, there is one door leading out of it that you didn't come through. So
All right, I'll go through that one then.
sure, it takes you into a receiving room.
Okay.
So
What
where
is
they
that?
would
Sorry.
where a receiving room where they would receive their guests.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm really just trying to look for like just like a place where like a guard would stay to rest. I guess I don't know what you would call that.
A barracks?
Yeah.
Okay. So far, you have not encountered that at all. There's one door out of the receiving room. Judging from the layout and the shape of the way you've gone so far, it looks like it leads back into the entryway you came into.
Okay. Is that the only other way out from here?
From here, yes.
Okay, I'll head to like where I came from and
Yep.
then check another door.
Okay, so you come out, and it's a different door than the one you went through in the first place. You've gone in a circle. Now the entryway had 4 doors. One of them Waver went through, one of them you went through, one of them you just came out of. There's only one left. Go ahead and make me a dex roll.
Awesome. 17.
You get into it, and it leads along a hallway into basically a lounge. It does not look nearly as well appointed as the rest of the manor.
Okay.
And you see stairs going, well, down.
I like to look around this lounge.
In the lounge, there are 3 fairly large burly men in, well, 2 of them in leathers and 1 of them in chain.
Okay. I would like to listen in on their conversation and see if that yields anything.
I didn't say they were talking.
Um. Is that all that's really of note over here?
More or less. It seems like it's a place where the guards relax.
Okay. You said there was a staircase as well?
Yes.
I like to use that staircase then.
Okay. You go down the stairs and you find living quarters. Beds for
Yay.
a dozen men.
Okay. Are there like any storage, like anything to store stuff in this room?
There are basically, for lack of a better term, footlockers, chests at the edge of the beds. Yep.
I'll go look through those, see if I can find anything.
What particular things are you looking for?
I don't know, something that would just be out of place in like a room like this, I guess. Like something other than like gear or clothes, I guess.
I mean, there's the occasional letter from a sweetheart, but I mean, you don't see anything that raises any eyebrows.
Okay.
Give me an investigation roll.
The 10.
Give me a perception roll.
Oh boy. 18.
The headboard on one of the beds has something carved into it. A word. Possibly a name. No, dear.
Spooky.
Now that's the kind of information we were looking for.
Yeah. There's like chests at the foot of every bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I look in the chest of this particular bed, and is there anything unusual in there?
Nothing unusual.
Okay. Or anything that like I would be able to use to identify who it belonged to.
Oh, the marks on the uniforms in the chest tell you it is Piotr's chest. It is the commander of the guards.
Okay.
Simon's guards.
That's something. Yeah. Is there any other doors leading out from this room, or is it just a staircase up?
Just the staircase up.
All right, I'll make my way back up then.
I'm not big on fire safety. I'm sorry. Okay, you make your way up. I'm gonna go back to Waver. Waver, what are you thinking?
Yeah. I think after musing for a little bit, which the others would probably just see as like piecing information together, Waver would finally land on something and say to Piotr specifically, "You are the chief, so you would probably be the most familiar with this. Have there been any reports from the guards about strange events or inexplicable acts, like a missing weapon or forgetting spans of time, anything like that?"
Give me a second. Give me a persuasion roll, please.
Sure. 27.
Yeah.
We love those high rolls.
I think most of us have noticed some moments where time seems to have passed and we don't know what happened.
I see.
He seems caught off guard that you would ask that.
Hmm. Hmm.
How can he be caught off guard if he is a guard?
Ah, math, I've missed your puns. And dad jokes. Ugh. One day maybe you'll be more than a faux pas.
Perhaps.
Hmm. Would you say there would be any pattern to these moments of, shall we say, lapses in time? Is there any pattern at all to them, or is it just seemingly random?
Now he has to make a roll for that day. We own, as far as I can tell, it was only that day and the day before. None of us
see.
have had those lapses prior to that, and I don't think anyone's had them since.
Hmm.
Jane, can I get a
If
deck?
Padre was there, Padre would totally be like, seems mighty convenient.
Jane, are you trying to make your way back to the entryway?
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that you're going to be able to make dex rolls to get out. That's fine.
Okay. I guess in that case, I'll head upstairs from the entryway.
Okay. There are 3 doors upstairs.
All right. Try door number 1.
I think Waver would just, while this is going on, just turn to Stephen's wife and just say, all right, thank you for your assistance. You may.
You mean Simon's wife?
Yes, sorry. I'm bad at names, but yes. I would just turn to her and say, thank you for your assistance today. You are free to resume your activities.
Thank you. She turns and closes the door. Jane, you hear a door close behind as well.
Okay.
The conversation's all happening right in the same area you're in.
I'll message Waver and ask if she's found it. Have you found anything out?
I would respond to the message saying, yes, according to the head chief, all of the guards have been experiencing bouts of forgotten time.
Interesting. I found Noah deer carved on the bed frame or on the bed heading of what's the guy that
Piotr.
Piotr.
Waver would receive this second message nod and say, then I believe our investigation here has been concluded. And then she would turn to Piotr and then herself say, thank you very much for your assistance here, head chief. This information has been most helpful. I shall convey it to Hakon, and he shall take things from here.
If there's anything else we can do, let us know.
She would nod and then head down the stairs to the door, open it long enough for Jane to scuttle out, and then after like 10-ish seconds head out herself.
Fair enough. All right.
Because that's not suspicious at all.
Okay. You get out.
I'm trying to give my rat friend a way to get out, okay? I didn't want to abandon her there.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah. After I left the premises, I would find the 2 bush people.
We have
Oh, we left the bush
Livio and
now.
Pottery have yeah, we left the bushes. We are quite literally just chilling on the sidewalk, on the carpet
Oh,
on the sidewalk.
okay.
Livio partially away from Padre because he's messing with Gilbert. Livio doesn't like dolls.
Padre made Livio slightly uncomfortable using telekinetic movement.
Oh, Jesus. I see.
Yeah, I was reading that entire side conversation. It was pretty amusing.
Oh, God. Okay. Fair enough.
I just wanted an excuse to use my telekinetic movement, to be honest.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. You guys can explain what you found out, what you know, what you think you know?
Yeah. Wave is just gonna make sure that no one's watching her
Perception roll.
first before. That one, baby, let's go!
Oh no.
Absolutely no one watching you. 100%.
Cool.
Man,
You
I'm
can't
so
see me.
glad that you rolled on that one when after you left.
Can't
Like,
see me.
if you were inside the building and you rolled on that one,
All right.
Uh,
So anyway, we So I guess we know what went down. I guess.
I'm gonna drop concentration on passive trace.
That's fair.
oh yeah, the rat is now visible.
Visible
Yes,
rat.
and I turn back into a halfling.
Visible halfling.
Maybe we should head to the inn to talk, or
Yeah,
should it be fine here?
we should probably head back to the end.
Go to inn.
All right. You managed to find your way back to the inn.
All right.
And I guess like as we're heading back to the inn, I can explain what I found using message. Basically explaining that I saw Noah deer carved on the bed of Piotr.
Yeah, I think once we've gotten back to the inn and found like a quiet area, Waver would also explain what she learned from her interrogation.
Okay.
When you get back to the inn, you hear a large bustle of, I don't want to use the term excitement, but a lot of energy going on. People seem very upset.
Rambunctious energy.
People seem upset.
What are they upset about? Can we tell?
I would like to find out what they're upset about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Listening at all, you hear most of the conversations are about an attack in town.
Oh,
Can we
Gathering
listen in
just
to
from
figure out
listening
what it is?
about what is it? Are they referencing the same attack that happened to us?
So it's
Yesterday,
that
or-
was
odd.
been yesterday.
It's odd. The creature involved has been described exactly the same way as that which fought you guys on the street. But I'm sorry, what was the inn you were in originally?
The inn we were in originally was what?
The Green Griffin.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
the one.
that's
Which we're no
right.
longer in, by the way.
Yes. The attack was in the Green Griffin, and
Oh.
several people were killed.
Oh God.
Oh,
Before the guards
Oh.
could deal with the creature, and again he turned to dust afterwards.
Someone's targeting us.
No, if they were targeting us, they would have attacked this inn.
Well, considering the lengths we went to remain anonymous when switching inns.
I kind
I-
of look at
Did you see what
Jane
happened to
and
Did you? Yeah, did you see what happened to Padre and Jane? They already found out.
Yeah,
but
well,
okay. The people at the other end didn't. The people at this end knew. So
You don't know if they didn't. There's no evidence saying that they
potentially
didn't
we
find out
could
at the
pull
other
off
end.
the same disguise to go back.
nah. I'm good.
Well, one thing's definitely clear. We need to talk to Hakon about this.
Okay.
But she would turn to
Hakon's not gonna
Livio.
be truthful.
Yeah, she would turn to Livio. I understand that you also want to do some investigating on your own and Hakon's own abode to see if you can find anything there.
So
I do.
Well, maybe we can do two birds with one stone. we could distract Hakon by talking to him, and you could sneak in and find what information you need.
Audrey's gonna kind of pipe up at this point, and just kind of say to Waver, "Hey, I just have a follow up question about what you're investigating in Simon Turcotte's house.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was the guy's name again? I gotta
Piotr.
go. Oh yeah. Um. So Piotr said that he was guarding the door. Yes,
Front door, yes.
the front door at the time of the murder.
However, due
Did he
to
seem like he was lying or hiding
not that
anything otherwise?
not that I could explicitly tell, but I don't think that entirely clears him, considering the testimonial of people losing lapse of judgments. I think whatever is causing that, which is most likely a spirit, is possessing people, possessed Piotr and got him to kill Simon, and then returned Piotr back to his position without him remembering the time passing at all. That's my current theory.
Did any of the other guards um did any of the other guards stories match up with that bit about the lapses in time or whatever, or is that or do you only hear that from Piotr?
Piotr was the only one to explicitly mention it, but everyone else's testimonies kind of lined up with that, and the fact that the event happened, they rushed, and there was a body, yet supposedly no one was there. That would only make sense if someone did it and then didn't remember.
Hmm. I mean, considering what we heard from Simon's corpse, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, did Piotr actually have an alibi?
Well, the thing is, corpses don't know the exact truth. To Simon, it would seem that Piotr had betrayed him because he wouldn't have known he was possessed, hence calling him the betrayer. But from Piotr's perspective, he was being controlled by a spirit and had no recollection at all of what was going on.
I mean, that's just speculation, though, right?
Yeah, that's
Exactly,
what I'm
which is why we should bring this information to Hakon so that he can investigate this with his methods.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not exactly trusting Hakon anymore.
Which is why we have
Why do you think?
Livio. Which is why we have
Why do
Livio
you think I want to
investigate.
sneak in?
Well, which is why we have Livio investigate while we talk with Hakon. Two birds with one stone.
Okay, sure. Except wouldn't Hakon kind of notice that there's one of us missing? If Livio's investigating.
Waver can think of something.
Yes, I think I know the exact alibi I can give for Livio. Like, oh, I don't know. They just ran off somewhere and didn't tell us anything because they wanted to do something and didn't bother telling us what.
You know what? That does actually sound perfectly reasonable. Audrey will agree.
First of all, ouch. Second of all, that'll probably work.
And if Hakon asks why we're talking to him rather than finding you, well, the answer is rather simple. This murder and the events surrounding it are far more important than babysitting one person. Providing information is
Or,
more
better
important.
yet, we could ask Hakon if he's seen Livio
Oh, yes, we could.
as like kind of distraction. But yeah.
We could, but Hakon seems to have the ability to peer into places, and if we asked him that, he would be able to see Livio sneaking in. The whole point is we're supposed to be subterfuging it, so we want to draw away from the fact that Livio is missing and towards the fact that we've found a major culprit in what's going on.
Okay. So, if I'm understanding correctly, we want to probably not even draw attention to the fact that Livio's not with us unless explicitly asked by Hakon.
Yes, if Hakon explicitly asks, then the answer we give is that Livio went off exploring on his own again.
Sounds good to me.
All
All
right.
right, cool.
All right.
Which really, if you think about it, wouldn't exactly be a lie. It's just omitting part of the truth, is all. Anyway,
I mean, that's fair. Okay, so it is pushing midnight. This is probably a fairly reasonable place to call it because it gives me time to do a little bit of
Yeah,
work
I
for
think
next
this
time.
is a great place to spot.
yeah, I think so too.
We're gonna do some major stuff next time, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say I have gone ahead and adjusted your character sheets and given you all 200 experience for the night.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay.
I love how this has turned out. Two people don't trust him at all, Hakon at all. Look, we're gonna have to fight Hakon. I'm calling it now.
Oh yeah, we for sure are.
I mean, we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna
But
have a lot of fun.
yeah, again, we've gotten a lot of information here.
Yeah.
We've done
I
quite a lot of
I also
progress.
do want to say, I'm gonna say this now. If Livio ends up finding that map that Simon talked about, he's probably going to open it.
All right,
That'll
folks.
end poorly.
All right, folks. Say goodbye to stream.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
stream.
Bye, stream.